All right, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Carter J. Just want to share with you guys some boxing news. Probably some of you guys heard it, some of you guys probably haven't. But to the people who's have had it, who's have heard it, the news ain't probably nothing new because this has happened at least 3 times by now. The fight has been delayed between Kell Brook and Devon Alexander. Originally, this fight was supposed to take place on May 18th on the undercard of the Lucas Matisse-Lamont Peterson fight. Apparently, Kell Brook suffered a stress fracture, I believe, on his right ankle. I'm not really sure what Eddie Hearn is. They're talking about trying to reschedule the fight. I don't know if the fight's going to happen now. And, all this shit makes me just wonder, man, like, what are these guys really just doing in training camp, man? I mean, I'm just really curious about this shit because you figured by now, I mean, if this shit happened 3 times, you would think that they would take precautions to not do the shit again, or I honestly don't know, man. I mean, I was actually looking forward to this fight, but I don't know, man. Shit happens. I don't know if the fight's going to happen now. I'm going to let you guys hear an interview with Eddie Hearn. It's about like 8 minutes long. He goes more into detail about what happened and shit like that and what they're trying to do. Set up something with Golden Boy, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts after the interview. Do you think this is bullshit? Do you think Kell Brook's trying to get out of the fight? I mean, do you think Devon Alexander should take the fight now? If not, who should Devon Alexander fight next? And all that good shit. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to let you guys hear the interview right now. Here it is.
Well, we met up last week. It's affected him for about 10 days now, and it was following a run. He had some pain in his right foot, and obviously it's been a long camp. He's been training virtually non-stop for about 5 months, and he had some pain after a run in his foot, and tried to run again, and again the pain increased, and he went to the doctors, and they told him to lay off the foot for a couple of days. It didn't improve, and then the back end of last week, we went for a series of X-rays, and MRI scans, and CT scans, and they confirmed that just at the end of last week that it looked like he had 2 stress fractures, one in his navicular and one in his metatarsal. The metatarsal not the end of the world, although it obviously affects your running and sparring, but the navicular was more of a concern, and we had the confirmation this morning after another set of scans that basically he would have to lay off the foot for probably 3 or 4 weeks solid. Wouldn't allow him to run, wouldn't allow him to spar, and we had to unfortunately make the call today, which was heartbreaking for Kell. He wanted to fight, but to go into a fight like that, probably not even 50% would just wouldn't do himself justice, and as hard as it was to tell him that he had to let it go, it's definitely the best thing for his career. He's still relatively young, and it's a huge blow at this moment in time, but that's life, and you've got to overcome it now.
What happens now, Eddie?
Well, by rules, Devon Alexander will have to go down the IBF ranking and fight the next available contender as his mandatory. So Kell will effectively have to wait for the next mandatory to come around. If that doesn't happen, I mean, the next available contender could be Rafael Jakovic, who Kell beat handily in 5 rounds. So I don't think Devon's going to want to fight him, and I don't think the broadcasters are going to want to fight him. So they may choose to reschedule the Brook fight in sort of 5 or 6 weeks' time, or try and have a voluntary or speak to the IBF. I don't know. All these things were stuff which we had to consider when we're making our decision. But we looked at every way we could try and make it on that night, and we just kept hitting brick walls everywhere we went. From Kell not being able to spar to probably days before he flew out to America, and no running, and also the threat of longer term damage to his career, which is what we were warned with, particularly about a navicular injury. All the things that we are out of our control now in terms of what's going to happen. We had to make the right decision through the advice of the doctor
Is he still guaranteed a world title shot?
He is guaranteed a world title shot. It's just a timing issue now. I mean, he may have to wait, in which case we probably look at other options and go down other routes. That's our job now, is to try and basically be creative and have a strategy, following the disappointing news. And obviously, like I said, it's a huge blow, and obviously everyone's worked hard on this, but no one will feel it more than Kell Brook, beyond the life-changing opportunity that was presented to him. And of course, he was going to receive financially a great payday for this fight. That's never the be-all and end-all, but of course, you're talking about a job, and you're talking about your salary, and you're talking about securing, the financial future of yourself and your family. So that does come into it as well. But more importantly, we've worked so hard over the last 15 months, 18 months to get him into this mandatory position. And, the fight that was called off before, the last time with Devon Alexander's injury, he was just flying, and that was a huge body blow then. And, to get back into training and then just have this hit you almost instantly was just another kick almost while you're still down, And again, there's no words that I can say that can really give anyone any positive news. Only that he's 27 years of age, and I know he'll be back. But I've known him for 15 or 18 months,